Good morning, boys. So it's 6:45 a.m. right now, and I'm heading to the gym. I was low-key wanting to make this video because a few days ago I was just going through my photos, and I feel like I have this phase where every few months I kind of like have to go through my photos and just kind of see like all the different phases that I went through like in my past, like because I have photos from like 2017, 2016, and so just kind of seeing the different phases I was in, just kind of remembering like my days in middle school and then high school and then first year of university. Just seeing the photos makes me remember like how I felt in those moments, how my mental well-being was, like my my confidence, and just kind of remembering my state in those times. And then so I was going through my pictures from like when I first started university, and it was like you can tell that I just looked so stressed. Like all the photos I would send to my friends, I would look like absolutely drained, no smile whatsoever. Uh, and it's like there was barely any pictures as well because I just didn't. Like, when you don't feel confident, you're not going to take that many pictures of yourself. So that then kind of make me think about like how hard that jump is from high school to university for like most people in general. And so I went on my school community, which I'm not trying to promote, but it is the first link in the description. And so I asked my community, like, basically, if you were to talk to a grade 12 student right now, right, that was going to university, like, what advice would you give them? What life advice? Like, what tips? What would you even tell them? Like, anything? Is there anything specific that you would tell them in general? Not even, it doesn't even need to be advice. And so a lot of the members' responses, some of them were like doing their first year right now and they're kind of just finishing up the first semester, or some of them are in second year, or some of them are even higher and like ending their degree. And so it was really valuable to see the responses from different people. And so a lot of them were basically just talking about mental well-being and how, because they knew how much it actually affected them and affected all of us in our first year of university. And it's like how you prioritize your homework and your assignments and your courses over everything else. And then it's like once you're done first year, you kind of realize how unimportant it is compared to your health, your happiness, your relationships, your religion, right? And so there was this one particular response that I really liked and I resonated with, and it was like, if you have anything in your life right now that's tanking your mental well-being, or not even tanking, or even just like like a little bit of a negative to your mental well-being, or even if it's something that's a neutral but not like boosting your mental well-being, then it's like try to find a way to just get rid of that. Whether that might be like, even if it's just like a course that you really dislike and you're just taking it because everyone said it was easy or something, right? And so you take it but you hate the subject, and so that causes your mental well-being to just like tank. Every time you think about the course, you just don't want to do it. Or if it's just friends, the specific friend that you met in class, and now you feel like you owe them your time, and it's like, why would you hang out with them, right? Or if it's just like, or if that means you're sacrificing your sleep and that's tanking your whole life in general, or you're letting go of your diet and your exercise and you're not even moving and you're just sitting around on the desk every single day, and that's also just tanking your mental well-being and making you basically feel pseudo-depressed. Or if you just hate staying on campus every single day for like doing 12-hour shifts. We've all been there and it's annoying, and sometimes you just need a break from that. And so that was really good advice. And so I wanted to make this video just to talk about that and also give my own advice as well. And so if I was to talk to someone who's just about to start their first year at university, I would tell them that it's low-key not that hard. It's not that hard to get good grades in university. And I know it's easy to say after I've already finished my first year, right? But it's like, for some reason, my second year just feels a lot easier than my first year. And that's because I actually learned how to study properly. It's the first year is hard because we're not prepared to be good students. We're not prepared to handle that jump in course load. At least in the West, like maybe kids in China and India, like they're already like disciplined from grade 2 or something, right? They already get crazy workload, And so they're used to it. And so they're used to having all this studying and assignments plus all the other hobbies that they might have in their lives. But when people go to university, at least here, it's like they feel like they need to get rid of their exercise, get rid of like taking care of their diet, their sleep, just so they get enough time to study, right? And so that was something that I really like tried to convince people in first year. And it was like, because when we were all in first year, like I was like one of the only few people that I knew that would like actually go to the gym, right? And there was literally a gym in our university, and that's the one I'm going to right now. And so when I tell people like, yo, come to the gym, everyone would say, I don't have time. Like, nah, whatever, right? And all the same people, they now go to the same gym. They now go to the gym once they finish first year. Once they got somewhat of a break, and now they start a second year and they kind of learn how to study. But they realized that if they went to the gym and they took care of their health and their mental well-being, they would have studied better. They wouldn't, the same assignments that took them maybe 6 hours to do, they could now do in 4 hours. And so they become more efficient students, and they get more free time. And their mental well-being also is going to get boosted. And so that was something that I really, like, I just found it really hard to convince people. And I thought maybe, you know what, maybe this is just like my experience that the gym helps me. But it's like, I don't know, so whenever I went to the gym, whenever like I just did a hobby or hung out with friends and like I actually had, I don't know, constructive, meaningful discussions instead of just studying all the time. It's like just discussing life with friends. It just boosts your mental health. It gives you a break from studying. It definitely gives you a mental break. And so when you go back to your IQ, like brain draining tasks, it's like you feel like you're kind of a little bit re-energized because you gave yourself a break. So that's kind of how I treat like taking care of yourself when it comes to your exercising, like actually eating a healthy meal, not eating some processed foods and just like buying cheap food, like really cheap food, just because I'm a broke student. I can still get a really good diet for just a bit more expensive than those $1 ramens. And so it's really funny and sad at the same time to see all the people that I tried convincing to go to the gym now actually go to the gym. The thing is, they only might have went to the gym because they saw the progress that I made or the gains that I made. But it wasn't just the physical gains that I benefited from the gym and taking care of my diet and just optimizing my life to become a successful student. But again, like I said, I became a more successful student from just optimizing my life. And that definitely boosted my grades and definitely avoided me burning out way too early, like some people might have. And so you might have a specific thing that like helps you avoid burnout or just gives you a mental break in a sense. And so when I was young, it was just playing football, or people might call it soccer, right? And so that definitely gave me a mental break. Whenever I'd step on the field, like I would literally not think about any single thing. I would literally go there and just not worry about life in general, right? And that might be a thing that you guys also experience with other sports, specific like things. Maybe you I don't know, you just like writing or you like drawing, whatever it might be. I don't know what it is. You know it more than me. And so don't throw all those things away just because you feel like you need to get more work done. And the thing is, if you do these things in moderation, obviously I'm not saying do them 10 hours a day. If you do them, then you will actually become more efficient when you go to study. There's no point just sitting in front of your computer for 12 hours if you can do the same task in 3-4 hours. In first year, what I would do is like basically go to my classes, like do one the first half of the day, and then go to the gym, and that kind of gives me a break in the middle of the day. That's kind of like my lunch break is going to the gym, and then I would just finish my second half of classes. And that's what enabled me to like finish my classes, do all the work and the assignments and whatever it might be, the textbook readings, didn't skip any of them that actually I needed to do. And then at the same time, I got better grades, and at the same time, like I went to the gym consistently pretty much every single week, 5 times a week. And at the same time, like slowly, I actually learned how to cook different meal prep recipes, and I actually started to kind of eat healthy. And definitely I made so much progress because when I started my first year, I didn't know anything about when it came to diet. Well, I thought I did, but like compared to now, it's like, bro, what was I eating? It was garbage food, right? My exercise, I didn't know what I was really doing in the gym. I was just doing it because people were doing it online. But it's like now I can kind of see what actually benefits me, what gets me sore, and then what I also enjoy. And that way, I actually get excited to go to the gym every single day. And at the same time, I learned how to actually sleep properly, the supplements I need to take, like the environment I need to sleep properly. And at the same time, I would also slowly watch podcasts and just learn from others to learn exactly how to become an efficient student. Like exactly how do I finish my assignments more quickly? How do I study for tests effectively? Like literally everyone now is like, how do you study? Like, but you barely study. It's like I study, like one of my exams, I just couldn't get the time to study before. I was just really busy, and even though I recommend to people to study like at least 5 days early, and even if it's just like 1 hour a day, that way you actually consolidate your memory. And that's because you consolidate information only when you sleep. And so if you study the night before, there's too much information to consolidate. You guys probably already know this. If you didn't know, then now you know. And so for that test, I just only had like 2 days to study, and then I had to study the day of, because it was a test that was later on in the day. So technically 2 days, 2 days and a half. And so I studied for that test kind of later than when most people started, and then I got 100.8% on the test. And so everyone was like, yo, bro, how'd you do this? What's the secret? And it's like, yo, bro, I just know how to study. And so instead of spending time just like reading notes for like 5 hours, I read my notes for half an hour, maybe 1 hour, and spent the rest, which is like 4 hours, 5 hours. I was doing like kind of 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and just literally like getting online tests, like past exams for that course, looking at the question, not reading the answer, writing on my answer on my iPad, or you can do it with your notebook, and then after I write the whole answer, then I double check to see if I'm right. If I get it wrong, I keep that question noted down, and then after a few hours or the next morning, that for me it works better. Like the next morning, I look at the questions that I didn't get completely right, like the previous day, and I just do the same exact thing. And so I learned that from Huberman, actually. So just watching Huberman's podcast, Andrew Huberman, you probably know him. You should. And so he was talking about exactly how to study effectively. And it's like actually just like getting the information and then actually experimenting with it, like trial and error to see if what he said would actually work or not. And so far, it works pretty fine. Maybe there's a better technique, and that I'm only going to know that if I keep actually getting knowledge outside of university. And so most of the knowledge that I have about life in general is not from university. It's like from outside, from like actually getting educational information online. And so that's what it takes if you want to become an efficient student. That's what it takes if you want to become an efficient human being. It's not just throwing everything else away. You're throwing your health away to get good grades, but throwing your health away is going to make you get worse grades. And so it's very counterintuitive. Just like I feel like people need to use their logic, especially when it's in stressful situations. It's really hard for people to use their logic. So just like try to be rational when it comes to your studies. And so if you're making that big jump, it's scary, but it's definitely doable. I think it's definitely doable if you just stick to the basics. Stick to what you know, which is taking care of your health, spending time with family, focusing on your religion. And that way all these things will aid you when it comes to actually trying to get good grades, whatever it might be. And so if you're making that big jump, might be going to university, might be something else. Maybe you're going to high school, right? If you're watching this and you're a young guy. I believe in you, bro. You can do this. People have done it before you. People will do it after you. So what makes you not smart enough, right? And I always thought I was never smart enough to go to university. I always thought I wasn't smart enough to pursue the path of medicine that I wanted to pursue. But it's like just getting those small wins and then eventually the good grades. It's like it gives you motivation and gives you a sense of belief that you can actually do it. It's like, you know what? Maybe it's not much of a far-fetched idea than I thought it was. And so you just have to like do it kind of day by day, and that way you accumulate the small wins and create some type of momentum, and that way you actually become confident in yourself. It's like confidence is just self-conviction. And so if you have the self-conviction that you can do the thing that you want to do, then like it's really hard to stop that type of person. And so I just wanted to make this quick video before I head out to the gym. But I'm here now, and I think that's it for the video. And if you wanted to learn about just kind of more about how to become an efficient student, an efficient person, kind of how to optimize your life and everything we talked about in this video, then I mentioned the community before in the beginning of the video, but it's going to be the first link in the description. It's a free community right now, not forever. So check it out. But yeah, I'm headed out to the gym. Take care, lads.